Life is going to test you. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, and moments where it feels like everything is working against you. That's inevitable. But the real question is, how will you respond? Will you let these challenges break you, or will you use them to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient? Today, we're diving into Stoicism, a philosophy that transforms obstacles into stepping stones. If you're feeling overwhelmed by life's difficulties, you're in the right place. And if you appreciate what we're sharing, hitting that subscribe button is an easy and free way to support us. Every part of this video holds valuable insights, so don't skip ahead. One piece of advice might be exactly what you need to shift your perspective. Stick with us, and let's build an unshakable mindset together. Change is one of life's few certainties. Yet, for many, it remains a major source of stress. Why? Because it's not change itself that unsettles us, it's how we react to it. Stoicism, a philosophy centered on resilience and inner peace, provides a powerful way to approach the inevitable twists and turns of life. When something unexpected happens, our first instinct is often resistance. This resistance is rooted in fear of the unknown, fear of loss, fear of failure. But what if, instead of fighting against change, we learn to embrace it? Imagine how much energy we'd save and how much more at peace we'd feel if we accepted change as a natural part of life rather than an unwelcome disruption. Stoicism encourages us to see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. One of its key principles, amor fati, meaning love of fate, is about embracing whatever life throws our way, not with passive acceptance, but with a mindset that says, whatever happens, I can work with this. It's about seeing every twist in the road as a chance to grow rather than something to fear. By shifting our mindset in this way, we align ourselves with life's natural rhythm, reducing inner turmoil and increasing our ability to handle whatever comes next. Growth isn't found in avoiding change, it's found in learning to move with it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. While we have no say in when or how change occurs, we do have control over how we respond to it. That's where real power lies. By directing our energy toward our reactions rather than external events, we take charge of our emotional well-being and open ourselves to the full range of experiences life has to offer. This doesn't mean change will always be easy or comfortable, but how we handle it can make all the difference. The key is flexibility in our thoughts, actions, and expectations. True adaptability means being ready for the unexpected, staying composed in uncertain situations, and shifting course when necessary. It's about letting go of outdated versions of yourself and embracing who you're becoming. Sometimes this means making small adjustments to your daily routine. Other times it requires bold changes, like redefining your career path or personal relationships to align with your authentic self. A simple but powerful habit to build this mindset is self-reflection. Regularly analyze your experiences, especially the difficult ones, and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? Making this a habit rewires your perspective, helping you see change not as something to fear, but as an opportunity for growth. Ever been in an argument where words flew out before you could think? Or felt so consumed by fear or excitement that your emotions seemed to take control? We've all been there. Feeling deeply is part of being human, but letting emotions dictate your actions can lead to chaos. This is where Stoicism becomes a game changer. It doesn't ask us to suppress emotions, it teaches us to understand and manage them. Instead of being controlled by fleeting feelings, we learn to pause, reflect, and choose our response wisely. By practicing this approach, we reclaim our power, ensuring that no matter what life throws our way, we remain steady, clear-minded, and in control. Mastering emotions and setting boundaries. A Stoic approach. Our emotions, if left unchecked, can cloud our judgment and lead us into unnecessary conflict. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies not in suppressing emotions but in mastering them, ensuring they don't overpower our rational mind. The goal is to build mental resilience that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with clarity and composure. The Stoics believed that we have the power to choose how we respond to our emotions. Imagine facing a situation that typically triggers anger or anxiety. Instead of reacting impulsively, the Stoic approach encourages you to acknowledge the emotion. Recognizing your feelings is the first step toward mastering them. Question their source and intensity. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is my reaction proportional to the situation? Often, our emotions are amplified by perception rather than reality. Pause before responding. This brief moment of reflection gives you the freedom to choose a rational, measured response rather than acting on impulse. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your instinct might be to honk angrily or shout. But a Stoic would take a deep breath, recognize the surge of frustration, and choose to let it go, understanding that in the grand scheme of life, it's not worth the stress. This practice isn't just for negative emotions. Even overwhelming joy or excitement can cloud our judgment and lead to rash decisions. The key is to find balance, ensuring that our choices are guided by wisdom rather than fleeting emotions. One of the best ways to build this emotional resilience is through regular self-reflection. Whether through journaling, meditation, or quiet contemplation, reflecting on past emotional reactions helps us refine how we handle similar situations in the future. The power of setting boundaries. Just as we must manage our emotions, we must also protect our time and energy by setting clear boundaries. Have you ever found yourself agreeing to another project at work despite already being overwhelmed? Or saying yes to a social event out of guilt, even though you desperately needed rest? Spreading yourself too thin serves no one, not you and not those who rely on you. This is where the Stoic principle of setting strong boundaries becomes essential. The Stoics believed in living in alignment with nature, which includes recognizing and respecting our personal limits. Just as the shore contains the sea and the bark shields the tree, we must define and defend our own boundaries to maintain inner peace. Boundaries aren't about shutting others out, they're about recognizing where your responsibilities end and where your well-being begins. They help us stay true to what matters most. For example, if family time is your priority, setting a boundary might mean not checking work emails during dinner. If personal growth is important to you, it might mean carving out dedicated time for reading, exercise, or meditation. The challenge with boundaries is that they can feel uncomfortable at first. You might worry about disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But Stoicism isn't about pleasing people. It's about living with integrity and virtue. By respecting your own limits, you become a better, more present version of yourself, which ultimately benefits those around you. How to set and maintain boundaries. Effectively, start small. Set manageable boundaries and communicate them clearly and respectfully. You don't need to over-explain. Simply stating, "I'm not available at that time," or "I need to pass on this project to focus on my current responsibilities" is enough. Reflect on past experiences. When have you felt exhausted, resentful, or overextended? These feelings often signal that your boundaries have been violated. Use them as clues to adjust accordingly. Stay consistent. The more you practice setting boundaries, the more natural it becomes. Over time, people will respect your clarity, and you'll notice a significant shift in your stress levels and overall well-being. A life of clarity and control. By mastering both our emotions and our boundaries, we reclaim control over our lives. We move through the world with greater energy, deeper connections, and a stronger sense of self. It may take time to develop these habits, but the long-term rewards, less stress, more fulfillment, and an unshakable sense of peace are well worth the effort. The power of boundaries, ownership, and lifelong learning. Setting boundaries. A Stoic path to peace. Establishing boundaries isn't just about protecting your time and energy, it's a fundamental. The Stoics teach that while the world is unpredictable, our actions and reactions remain within our control. Instead of passively accepting what happens to us, we have the power to actively shape our responses. Taking ownership means recognizing that our choices, mindset, and habits play a crucial role in our outcomes. If you're unhappy in your job, rather than feeling trapped, consider your options. Can you develop new skills, seek a new opportunity, or advocate for changes in your current role? The Stoic approach isn't about resignation, it's about engagement. A vital aspect of ownership is embracing mistakes. We all make them. It's part of being human. The question is, do we ignore them or use them as stepping stones for growth? The Stoics saw every misstep as an opportunity to learn. Instead of dwelling on failure, they urged reflection. What went wrong? What can I do better next time? Managing expectations is another form of ownership. The practice of premeditatio malorum, anticipating potential challenges, allows us to prepare for setbacks with resilience. This isn't pessimism, it's wisdom. By mentally rehearsing difficulties, we prevent them from catching us off guard. To integrate this mindset into daily life, make reflection a habit. Regularly ask yourself, what went well today? What didn't? How did I contribute to these outcomes? This isn't about self-judgment, but about self-improvement. Each time you take responsibility for your actions, you strengthen your ability to direct your life with purpose and clarity. Practicing self-compassion. A Stoic strength. Many people associate Stoicism with toughness, but at its core, it's also about self-compassion. The Stoics understood that berating ourselves for mistakes is counterproductive. Instead, they encouraged observing ourselves with objectivity, treating failures as lessons rather than personal flaws. Self-compassion begins with changing how we talk to ourselves. Imagine a friend made a mistake. Would you harshly criticize them, or would you offer encouragement? Apply the same kindness to yourself. This shift reduces anxiety and fosters a healthier mindset. Recognizing that struggle is universal also helps. Everyone faces setbacks, even if it doesn't always seem that way. Instead of feeling isolated in failure, acknowledge that challenges are part of the shared human experience. The Stoics emphasized interconnectedness. No one is alone in their hardships. Mindfulness plays a key role in self-compassion. It allows us to observe our emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Stoics practice detachment, seeing their thoughts as temporary and not defining of their worth. By stepping back, we gain clarity and avoid being consumed by self-doubt. A great way to cultivate self-compassion is through reflection. At the end of the day, consider moments when you were overly critical of yourself. How could you reframe those thoughts with kindness? Journaling or meditation can also enhance self-awareness, helping you navigate challenges with more patience and understanding. Self-compassion isn't about making excuses, it's about recognizing our humanity. It aligns with Stoic wisdom, reinforcing resilience and self-mastery. When we treat ourselves with fairness and respect, we strengthen our ability to face life's challenges with calm and confidence. Lifelong learning, a Stoic pursuit of wisdom. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. But rather than discouraging us, this realization should ignite curiosity and a desire for continuous growth. The Stoics saw the pursuit of wisdom as essential to a meaningful life. For them, learning didn't stop with formal education, it extended to everyday experiences. Successes and setbacks alike were seen as lessons. Growth wasn't about passively acquiring knowledge, but about actively refining one's character and understanding of the world. When faced with challenges, the Stoic response isn't to retreat but to engage. A difficult work assignment or a personal obstacle isn't a setback. It's an opportunity to test and expand your capabilities. Life itself is the greatest classroom. To cultivate this mindset, start viewing every experience as a chance to learn. Did a tough conversation teach you about patience? Did a failure highlight a gap in your knowledge? Every moment holds a lesson if you look for it. Remaining humble is key. The Stoics warned against arrogance, emphasizing that wisdom begins with recognizing the limits of our knowledge. True learning requires listening more than speaking, asking questions and staying open to new ideas, even those that challenge our current beliefs. Expand your learning by diversifying your sources. Read books outside your usual interests. Engage in conversations with people who think differently. Attend events that stretch your perspective. Every new idea enriches your understanding. Reflection is also essential. It's not enough to consume information. You must